His name was Kenton Carnegie. He was a 22-year-old engineering student from Ontario. He came here to Points North Landing, a supply camp in northern Saskatchewan, to look for minerals. The last time he was seen alive, he was heading out for a mid-afternoon walk in these woods.
I believe he saw this wolf behind him. He put up a good struggle. He put up a good fight. This is the first scuffle.
Rosalie Tassani is the coroner who was called to the scene.
So I believe that's when he thought he would have been in trouble and started running. And just shortly after that, about 7 feet from there or less, the first scuffle happened. And there's about 5 that led to the point where the men had discovered his body.
Searchers that went looking for Carnegie read the signs in the snow. They found footprints and then wolf tracks. They say he fought hard, that he was knocked down but kept getting up, fighting, running, and finally falling.
This is the area that they would have found him here. It's near the trail.
They found him here, less than a kilometer from the camp.
It's over.
There were wolves around his body, so the searchers retreated and called the RCMP. That night, Tassani went into the woods with the police.
I instructed the men to shoot a gun. I just told them to be cautious. When they started to haul, it seemed midway as we were cleaning up and taking care of the young man that we started to hear them howl. And it was just too close for comfort for me. It felt as if I would reach over and touch the one that was to my left. It just seemed like he was close and I could hear the rest. And it sounded like 4 or 5 of them, like calling to each other.
Kenton Carnegie's death is the first caused by wolves in more than 100 years. Was it a case of bad luck or bad environmental practices? Did this illegal dump attract the wolves that killed Kenton Carnegie?
So this one here is a chalk sketching, I guess, on the 30th. So he would have been up in Saskatchewan when he did that, and that's the coat, mech coat that he had while he was up there. And that's a coat that he died in, actually.
An engineer with an artist's eye. That's how Kim Carnegie remembers his son. 3 months after Kenton's death, he's getting increasingly frustrated trying to find out exactly what happened.
Basically, we know as of the Monday he had not seen wolves himself. We know that Tuesday he got restless, and in the afternoon he asked his field chief supervisor if he could go for a walk, and that was somewhere around 2:30 or 3 o'clock. He wasn't out there trying to sketch them or see them, as some articles might have implied. He was just going for a walk. He loved nature. He wanted to go look at the rocks in the bay.
Kenton Carnegie called home the night before he died and talked to his mother. He said that wolves had been seen around the camp. These photos show how common wolves were at Points North. Carnegie's co-workers took these pictures only days before he died. Kim Carnegie wonders whether his son was warned of the danger. Just one more thing that troubles him.
You hope they're being honest with you. You hope you're getting the best of information, but we're helpless. We're down here in southern Ontario, and that was up in Points North, northern Saskatchewan. We're helpless here. Like, what can I do? I don't know what to do. I have to keep waiting and waiting for reports and people's opinion on what happened.
What he's learned so far is turning his grief to outrage.
I have an anger in me that I've never felt before. I have an anger burning inside of me that I have a hard time keeping track of my emotions. I just feel it could have been prevented, and that's what bothers me most.
Points North Landing. It's a supply outpost for the mines, hunting and fishing lodges, and small communities scattered across Saskatchewan's far north. Drill teams and surveying crews stay here on their way through. crews that stay at Points North haul their garbage to this landfill, just north of camp. Open garbage attracts hungry predators. It's a problem across the north. It's been more than a century since wolves killed anyone in North America. The predators have lived near man in relative peace, even with humans crowding their territory. So was Kenton Carnegie's death here a once-in-a-100-years accident? A case of a city kid who didn't know enough to stay out of the woods.
And if it was a healthy one, and having encountered it, I wouldn't be here.
Fred Desjardins thinks a lot about Kenton Carnegie these days. Desjardins works at the Key Lake uranium mine, not far from Points North. He knows the woods, and he knows what it's like to stare into the wild eyes of an attacking wolf.
A split second seemed like so long that I'm staring at the wild animal, so huge with the head and the teeth.
Carnegie's death brings it all back. On a winter night a little more than a year ago, Desjardins was jogging after supper on one of the bush roads when a lone wolf charged out of the ditch.
I guess it's pretty exposed, eh? He was at my head level. All I could hear was the snap of his teeth. And that was it. I never thought anything after that. I never felt anything, only keeping my focus on the wolf. And when he bit into me, I hit him and he ripped my skin. And my reaction at that moment was to grab him again. And I grabbed him. He was down, I grabbed him around the neck. And I could feel his windpipe. The back of his hairs were against my face. Probably similar to
Fred Desjardins was rescued by his co-workers at the Key Lake mine, who happened to drive up. The mine is owned by Cameco Corporation. The company met with wildlife experts from Saskatchewan Environment after the attack on Desjardins to figure out how to prevent future attacks. In the end, it was a straightforward solution. Cameco built an electric fence around the Key Lake dump.
As far as I'm concerned with the fence that they put up, it's a very good idea. It's been put up, it's there, and it's keeping the animals out. I haven't seen any since they put it up.
There are hundreds of dumps like this scattered across the north. The landfills are supposed to have operating permits. But CBC News has learned the Points North dump, which sits on Crown land, has no permit, even though Saskatchewan Environment knows that wolves and garbage are a dangerous mix.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi. Lily Stonehouse is the Deputy Minister for Saskatchewan Environment. She says the government has known about the Points North dump for years.
We've been working with Points North and others in the area for several years now in terms of bringing that landfill into compliance.
But the government has nothing to say to Kenton Carnegie's family about any possible link between wolves, garbage, and his death.
What do you tell them when they believe that had the province acted and done something about the unpermitted landfill, their son's death could have been prevented? What do you tell them?
That we need to wait for the coroner's report to understand what the circumstances were here.
The same department that helped fix the wolf problem at Key Lake with this electric fence did nothing about the illegal dump at Points North. It will not even admit Kenton Carnegie was killed by wolves.
Is there any doubt that he was killed by predators?
I think we need to wait for the coroner's report in order to understand what actually happened.
Kim Carnegie tries to find peace in familiar routines, but he says he won't really begin to accept his son's death until his questions are answered.
Part of me wants to forgive and forget, but I'm so angry, I guess I'm concerned with the Saskatchewan government. I'm concerned with maybe Points North and what's happened there. I guess we're angry that we've lost our son. And that's a tough thing, and we're angry because his sister and brother have to go without him. his younger...
The Carnegies hope to travel to Saskatchewan later this year to see where their son died and maybe get some answers.
My worst case scenario is that his life and his death are going to go unnoticed and nothing's going to change. And that would be a waste.
More than 3 months after Kenton Carnegie died, nothing has changed at the Points North dump. It still has no gate or fence, but there is a fresh wolf trail. Dan Zakreski, CBC News, Points North Landing.